Other interesting culture news, you have Modelo is the best-selling beer in the United States for the second month in a row. All thanks to the brilliant, brilliant marketing from the very proudly self-described first female VP of marketing, Alyssa Heiserchild. Over at Anheuser-Busch, which is also particularly for the brand that everyone knows about, is Bud Light, which had their brilliant marketing decision April 1st, not a joke, with Dylan Mulvaney, a trans activist who many question the authenticity since Dylan never got the surgeries or the drugs, and also made pejorative videos, many would say mocking women, like saying on this day of celebrating womanhood, Dylan would run it in the forest dressed in high heels, which I did research. My family members, my mom didn't do that, my sister didn't do that. I was utterly shocked. That really never happens at all, except for in, I guess, that viral video they want to make. Now, all Dylan had to do, frankly, is just say nothing, and they are doing great at that because they're not playing politics. They're just making a product made for everyone. Now, there's a lot of controversy, a lot of misinformation around the ownership of Modelo. Modelo, again, in the United States, it is owned by a separate entity known as Constellation Brands. When Anheuser-Busch wanted to merge with Belgium-based InBev, the United States Security Exchange Commission, known as the SEC, said that as a condition of the merger, they'd have to spin off the U.S. entity of Modelo. So if you're buying Modelo in the United States, you are successfully working the boycott and not purchasing an Anheuser-Busch InBev product. If you're in another state, or I was saying another state, but if you're in another country, then it is part of the Anheuser-Busch parent brand, and you are in fact supporting that company. Depending on how you fall on the boycott, what your ideals are, may or may not make sense on what your decisions you're making. So now that you have all that decision, or now that you have all that information, it's interesting to note that for 20 years, Bud Light was the number one beer in the United States. And all it took was that one marketing blunder to shoot themselves in the foot. Perhaps more appropriately, shoot themselves in the foot with a .50 caliber Barrett rifle, which would be awkward, but it would basically blow your foot off or disintegrate it. Perhaps the most apt metaphor for the situation. Now, CNN Business actually reported that during the 4 weeks ending in July 1st, Modelo captured the U.S. market share of 8.7% among all the hundreds of brands. Throughout the same time, Bud Light faltered to 7%. Now, per the report, Bud Light's pre-independent sales were down 28.5% this year when compared to the same time period last year. That is a unprecedented level of, what's a nice way of saying loser? Unprecedented level of business blunder. They are certainly on track to win the Business Blunder of the Year award. Let me know in the comments if you want to do some type of cliche award. Maybe we actually mail it to Brandon Whitworth, the former CIA operative who is the CEO of Anheuser-Busch, who's abdicated all responsibility. And he's doing the job of a politician. He's not saying anything, but he's also, to the people that supported the brand for the longest time, he's not authentic to them anymore. And he's not appealing to their core audience. So unless he's going to be CEO for 50 years and he's going to, in his mind, successfully get that new capture market share, we'll see if the shareholders or the board of directors have the appetite for that long-term idea, if that is his idea, secretly. But yeah, once again, culturally speaking, the boycott just seems to be gaining steam day after day. And every time I think maybe people will let up, it hasn't. And we're still waiting on the data because, of course, you have the little bit of a delay since, you have Anheuser-Busch and Bev, you have distribution, you have the stores, you have the bars. It's a little bit of delay of the data when consumers are actually purchasing the product. And it'll be fascinating to see what the July 4th news come out in terms of what was their sales for that holiday. That is going to be some very interesting business news. I suspect it will be not so great today. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of July, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. Your feedback is also greatly appreciated. It's how we make the show better and better. Also, and lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.